Dr. Hawass, do you remember when it was the first time you saw the pyramids of Giza? How was this first contact for you? What do you feel?
I saw the pyramids at Giza when I was 9 years old. I was living in a village in the Delta called the Miatta, and I came to Cairo to visit my aunt. And I was staying in Cairo in Shobra. I took the bus to the pyramids, and I did look at the pyramid. I could not understand anything, and I played soccer in the area because I did not understand the meaning of that pyramid in that time when I was 9 years old.
Here we go with the next one. In a very few words and very quickly, what's the reality? What's the truth behind the Tutankhamun's dam and the events that happened after this discovery?
You know, I found out that Tutankhamun was not murdered. I found out that he had an accident and he was suffered from malaria and he had physical problems and he was riding his chariot and he died.
Okay. Question, Iván?
Okay, here we go with the fourth one. Do you think that the Tutankhamun's tomb still hides more secrets, as a lot of people believe in that?
No, I don't think at all that Queen Nefertiti is buried in this tomb, because no one will come like Tutankhamun to build a wall to stop the spiritual value of Queen Nefertiti. And therefore, Queen Nefertiti was not Tutankhamun's mother. I really do not think at all that there is any more secrets can be discovered in the tomb of Tutankhamun.
Okay. Question, Iván?
And the next one is directly for you. It's a little bit more personal question. So, what is the meaning for you to have been able to find the family of Tutankhamun?
You know, that was, I told you, this was a beautiful moment in my life when I found how Tutankhamun died, because everyone thought that he was murdered. And the second, when I used the DNA to discover the mummy in KB55 to be the mummy of Akhenaten, who was the father of Tutankhamun and the son of Amenhotep III and Queen T. And I found the mummy of his grandmother, Queen T. She was the daughter of Yuya and Tuya. And I found that the younger lady in the tomb number 35 of Amenhotep II was the mother of Tutankhamun. And now I'm starting the second phase of the Egyptian mummy project on October 30th. I will be looking for the mummy of Ankh-Es-in Amun, the wife of Tutankhamun, and also I will look also for the mummy of Queen Nefertiti, and will scan 28 mummies.
Okay. Question, Iván?
Let's talk about a little bit about Nefertiti. What happened to Nefertiti in the history? Where do you think her tomb may be?
I really think that Queen Nefertiti in year 12 of Akhenaten's reign, I really think
Okay.
the reason for her disappearance, because she became the co-regent of Akhenaten and she changed her name. And after Akhenaten died, I do believe that she ruled and she changed her name to Semenechkara, because we do have one scene of Queen Nefertiti smiting an enemy. Smiting an enemy, it is the task of a kingship and not a queenship.
Okay. Question, Iván?
Thank you, Dr. Hawass. And as you can imagine, it's impossible to avoid talking a little bit about the pyramids. Pyramid of Cheops. What can you tell us about the new cameras found in January of this year? About the new camera found?
I finished the most important work that I did inside the tomb inside the pyramid of Khufu, when I sent the robot inside the pyramid, and I found 3 doors inside. And also in the same time, there is a team from Japan and France are using a very sophisticated techniques trying to find out actually what is hidden in the pyramid. I am the director of the scientific team that really am trying to review their work. They told us that behind the main entrance there is a void. And we told them that this void was left by the ancient Egyptian, then the workmen can cut the descending corridor under the ground. And they said there is a void 30 meters long above the Grand Gallery. We asked them to give us more information about this void. They're working now, and we're hoping that soon they will tell us some more information.
Okay, here we go. As I told you, the next step might be the Sphinx. What do you think about the Sphinx? Is it much more older than previously believed? And it is true that the documents were found that Pharaoh Khufu ordered its restoration.
Then all the evidence prove that this is, and the Sphinx was cut to represent Khephren as Horus, who's giving offering to his father Khufu and Ra in the temple in front of the Sphinx. People talk about secrets under the Sphinx, and even they talked about aliens, and they wanted to drill under the Sphinx. I found that the water table began to rise in front of the Sphinx. I did 32 drilling everywhere under the Sphinx, 20 meters down. I found nothing. I found that the Sphinx is a solid rock and a living rock, and there is nothing is hidden underneath. What?
Okay, Dr. Hawass, I'm talking in the Temple of Hathor. There are some steps climbing to the roof. I think there are steps climbing to the room that seems to be melted, that seems to be liquid in the past, and it gets solid. And what do you think is this phenomenon for you?
There is many people who makes speculation about things, but you have to understand that the cult of Hathor was very important, because Hathor was considered to be the eyes of the sun god and the wife of the living king and the mother of the coming king. And her cult was very important in Dandra. Then all this type of steps and the descriptions and tunnels has to do with the worship of this goddess and not to be anything else.
Okay, next question, Iván.
And here I think this is the easiest question for you, Dr. Hawass, and you are gonna fix all the question for everybody. How were the pyramids built?
How? I published in my book that was published 6 months ago, and I said that all the stones for the Great Pyramid came from Giza Plateau, 100 meters to the south. And the Egyptian made a ramp to be located at the south west corner of the main pyramid. They cut the base of the pyramid of solid rock, and they put above the base large stones and smaller stones. And this is why the pyramid has many voids. And I found evidence when the ancient Egyptian put the capstone above the pyramid, it meant that the pyramid is finished. And everyone danced and sing because the king became a god. The most important discovery that happened recently is the papyri of Wadi al-Jarf. This papyri is a diary of an overseer of the workmen. His name is Mirror, and he's talking to us about building the pyramid. Building the pyramid is not a myth anymore. Moving the stones is not a myth anymore, because there is many discoveries found of how the Egyptian moved the stones.
Okay, Next question, Iván.
And Dr. Howard, we are going to be very glad to know what has been your most exciting discovery in your entire career?
I think the most important discovery in my career was actually the valley, because this is Tutankamón, the Greek-Roman period. I found a big valley of mummies covered with gold.
Okay, next question,
I'm
Iván.
excavating now in the Valley of the Kings, looking for the tomb of Nefertiti and the tomb of Ankhis in Amun, the wife of Tutankhamun.
Okay, next question, Iván.
So, do you think there are reasons to connect the pyramids of Egypt with other pyramids throughout the world?
No, there is no evidence that there is any link between the pyramids of Peru or South America or Mexico or Indonesia with the Egyptian pyramids. They all were tombs, but the Egyptian pyramids are the oldest, dated back to 5,000 years ago. But there is no connection between any pyramid and Egyptian pyramids.
Okay, next question, Iván.
Dr. Howard, can you please tell us if it is true that in the mummy of Ramses, there were found nicotine and in other mummies, even cocaine? It is true?
That is not true at all. I scanned many mummies and nothing like this has been found at all.
Do you think that there are any relationship between Egypt and South America and Mesoamerican cultures?
At all. There is no relationship at all between South America's culture and the pyramid and the Egyptian culture at all.
So, what can you tell us about the mummification center found in Saqqara? What do we know about that process? Can you explain something about that?
We know in ancient Egypt that every king has his own mummification workshop. But in the late period, which started to be 500 BC, the Egyptian began to have a public workshop that everyone can pay a fee and be mummified. And Saqqara discovery is the public workshop dated to the 26th dynasty, 500 BC.
Okay. Next question, Iván.
So, have you already located the lost tomb of Cleopatra?
No, we did not find anything yet about Cleopatra. We have been working with Dr. Kathleen Martinez in the Dominican Republic for the last 12 years. And we found many archaeological statues of Cleopatra, coins, but her tomb was not found yet.
Okay. Thank you for all, Dr. Howard. This is the last question for sure. Could you please give us some exclusive for the listener, something new?
What I am telling you that I am excavating now on the East Valley and the West Valley of the Kings, looking for the tomb of Ankhis in Amun and Nefertiti in the West Valley, and looking for the tomb of Thutmose II and Ramses VIII on the East Valley. We found many important discoveries that will be announced to the public in this coming September. Also, at the end of this month, I'm starting the Egyptian mummy project, and we are going to scan 28 mummies and use DNA. On May 4th, we are going to announce a big discovery of a tomb that located near the pyramids of Khufu.